Hey everybody, this is Dean and welcome to Photo Blue. So today I thought we'd have a little fun with sky replacement in Luminar Neo and some of the other things that you can do to accentuate changes in the photograph when you're changing the sky. So let's start off here by going to Sky AI. We have a selection by default in here. You can also put your own skies in here if you photograph skies. Which is probably better than using the defaults because everybody has defaults. You also don't want to have the same sky in every picture. So, for example, let's put this blue sky in, and it will take a minute for it to calculate out where it's going to go. So, the other place you can do is you can get subscribed to Luminar X, and you'll get free skies every month. Or you can buy packs of skies off of the Skylum website, and they even have some additional free packs on the Skylum website. So you can see it changed the sky really nicely here. The picture actually looks pretty good like this, but doesn't look probably realistic. Or you might not think it looks realistic, so you might want to pick something else that matches better. You've kind of got to go with what looks real or good to you, so use your judgment. If you want to exaggerate things and make them look a little surreal, you could do that as well. You also have to be careful of the way the light falls on your picture, so that the sky kind of matches the angle of where the sun would be. This actually doesn't look too bad because it was taken on an overcast day, so it's lit with very diffused light. So it almost looks like maybe the sun's in the background somewhere, and we're in the shadows, but we've brought the shadow detail in and everything, so it's not silhouetted. But it also kind of looks like we might have like some other light on the subject. So like you've probably use a flash or some sort of fill light or a reflector before to get light onto somebody's face when you're taking a picture of them and it's backlit or kind of backlit. So there can be a thing where you don't want the photograph necessarily to look artificial, unless of course that's your intent. So the other problem, as I mentioned, was this is a nice sky, but you need different skies in each photograph. Every photograph has a different sky in it, pretty much whenever you take it, because the clouds and everything change. The exception to that is a clear sky. There's something called California Clear Skies, and I think it might be free on the Skylum website. You can also purchase different packs of skies, or you can subscribe to Luminar X and get skies as well. But if you have clear skies, if you shoot some clear skies or get a pack with the clear skies in them, if we select one of these, it looks nice, and you could put this in multiple pictures and nobody's going to notice because it's a clear sky, right? So that's one thing that you can do if you use clear skies and such. Now let's have a little bit of fun with this. There are different things we can do, and so I'm going to put in a night sky like this. And although this looks kind of nice, it looks like it's been kind of faked because we see the building so well. So it looks like it's been processed, or lights maybe have been shown on this house. But we're not going to worry about that so much. We're just going to work with what we have and see what sort of effects we can get. So this is a night effect. If we pick another sky, let's see. This is the one I want. So this is a very dramatic sky. This looks actually pretty good right here. But I'm going to show you some other things that we can do here. We can use what's called relight right here. And we can change the brightness near and far in the photograph. So if we pop this up here, you see we can brighten the front, and we can actually change the depth of it. So we have a lot that we can adjust on that if we want to. That's going to make it look more artificial if we do that. So let's just take that back off again. The other thing that we can do with this is we can go down here to sun rays. And this actually works pretty well. You want to use it sparingly and as subtly as possible. But what we do is we click on here and we place the center of the sun. So let's drag this over to here. And now I can go here to amount, and I can actually put some sun rays in that. And so if we place that right there, we can adjust that. We can adjust the length of the ray, the overall look, penetration. So you can mess with that, but that actually looks pretty good. And I don't think the average person could tell that wasn't really the sun there, because we placed it over a spot where the sun would be and where it was in the sky. So that looks really good like that. So that's another thing that you can actually do is put some sun rays in the photograph. It's probably effect you want to use sparingly, but we're kind of looking at this in kind of a fun way. The other thing you want to be careful of is, depending on what photograph you're using, there are some, if we look closely at the horizon here, give it a minute to sharpen up here, because this is just a preview. This actually looks okay here, but particularly with the sky, with some skies, when there are like little branches and stuff or power lines sticking up, it may have a harder time making that look convincing or good. So you may have to go in with the erase brush, which is up here, and erase some of those branches or retouch them somehow. So that's something to be aware of, or just select a photograph where you don't have that issue. Sometimes if the branch or something's on the side, you can actually crop it out of the image. This looks pretty good, actually, and we're just having fun here. You might think this is a bit much under these circumstances. It depends on what you're going for, or what your taste is. But I think that actually came out pretty nice. Now, if we look at this is what the original photograph looked like. And this is what it looks like with our changes. Original photograph and with the changes. So that came out pretty good. You can even see the flare down here. Looks really good from the sun right here. It really gives it a nice look. There are a lot of other different things within Luminar, and I'll go over them maybe in other videos. But that's enough for now. So if you have Luminar Neo or even Luminar AI, which will do a lot of this stuff, you can mess around with some of these things to kind of perk up photographs that were taken on a day that was just totally gray and dull, like that. And you can make the image look really interesting and just give it an interesting look, as though you were out there when the sky was interesting. You can't always be out photographing when the sky is interesting or at the right time of day always. Sometimes you take a photograph and you're traveling and you might only have one opportunity to take a photograph, and it might not be under perfect conditions. So you can change these things. You can change them subtly or more dramatically, however you want to do it. But Luminar Neo, really nice program to do this type of thing in. Some people don't like to really mess around this much with photographs, but if you're inclined to, or if you just want to have some fun, it's a nice program to do this with. I'm Dean, and this has been Photo Blue, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.